What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Blunderbuss79, and in this one we have to talk about what's coming for the next update. So we got this fall welcoming event about 22 hours ago, right? And they got a lot of stuff in here, regular old stuff, the Ghost Rider ranking event, the Vibranium chest, tier 2 mega rank up ticket, all of this regular stuff, 50% off for the comic card unequipped. So make sure you take advantage of that if you need to change some stuff around. But we got the Have a Marvelous Day in Marvel Future Fight with the heroes this fall. And if you cluing in to the Marvelous Day,
right, guys?
Yeah.
Isn't it fun being there for all my extra takes?
Signed you up for the apprenticeship.
and this was first pointed out a little earlier by Free-to-Play Adventures. Shout out to him. Go check out his channel. He's got great content on the game.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
As of a few hours ago, if you log into the game, you close this first little tab, it gives you this window. It almost is assured that we are going to be getting the Marvels for the next update. So that means Captain Marvel, Kamala Khan, Monica Rambeau, probably Nick Fury, and a few other characters. And if you click on it, it actually takes you to this sneak peek over on Marvel Korea. Yeah, I'm not going to play the sneak peek because I don't want to get, hit with any sort of anything. But interestingly enough, if you go, this clip is 3 months old, right? This clip is 3 months ago. If you go to their actual page, though, they actually dropped something 2 hours ago. Once again, are we getting the Marvels? Pretty much an assured thing, I would think, at this point.
I don't know. Does anyone want me to do it again?
So go ahead and build up all them characters. Tier 3 Nick Fury or Awaken Nick Fury. Are you serious? Yeah, so I'm so here for an Awaken Nick Fury, Tier 3 Nick Fury, hopefully. And just in case you guys were wondering what I got from the event, I picked up the 4-star Midnight Suns event artifact selector, and I haven't quite decided who I want to use it on.
What?
So I just picked it up, left it in my inventory to buy me a few more days to make the choice. But that's pretty much where we are with it. There are a few artifacts in here that I do already have, such as Strife. I believe I also have Malekith's artifact. I don't think I have Odin's. I don't have any of the bottom row of characters or Omega Red. So we got a few decisions to make here. I do have Domino's artifact, I think. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. Y'all chime in down in the comments below. Let me know who y'all think I should pick up, based on my roster and this sort of thing. We'll have an overlay in the video of my gamer tag so you guys will be able to find it easily and figure out who I do and do not have based on the little short list I gave you, or just going in and checking out the account. So odds are, the odds on favorite for tier 4 is probably gonna be Captain Marvel. The only thing she was really lacking with the last Avengers outfit, as with most of her outfits, was survivability in terms of a heal.
Hate when he does that.
I don't believe she has any of that in her kit. Who could have believed at the point that they were releasing these types of uniforms that were this powerful in its heyday? It's pretty solid uniform, but no heal. So, who'd have thunk they'd have still been doing that late in the game? She does have the superhero supervillain passive with the decreased damage received, so she has a lot of damage reduction, which is why she was able to do a lot in PvP, along with the 4th skill iframe. Ignore that hits like an absolute truck, along with all the other buffs that she gave herself. The frenzy buff, percent crit rate, absolutely atrocious. Being able to remove active buffs on a lot of her skills with fracture, increased all buff effects, which really took her over the top in terms of a lot of her power. This is a really strong skill to have as a passive. So giving her a heal and that sort of thing, hopefully not locking it behind a tier 4 skill. We'll get at you in a minute, Raj. But yeah, hopefully not locking it in behind a tier 4 skill would definitely help. Now, Kamala Khan, he does have a tier 3, although I don't have her at tier 3 myself. This is not her last uniform. Actually, I believe it was the, I believe it was this one. So I'm kind of glad I waited, right? But this was a really strong uniform in and of its own right. It gave an increase, all attack buff, super armor, another frenzy buff, the all defense and decreased damage received. She also got some chain hit on there, increased skill damage, bonus damage, ignore target dodge rate, guard break immunity. So it wasn't as if she didn't have a solid kit. 1.3% damage accumulation, 4 seconds of invincibility as well.
Yeah! Okay!
It's 5 seconds of all damage immunity on the 3 and 4. 35% heal and 55% frenzy buff. This uniform, I believe it was very proc friendly and hit really hard. Just not the biggest in the Kamala like that. So I never really had a need or a reason to pick it up. Maybe with the new uniform, we'll go ahead and give that thing a test run and see what's happening with it. And then of course, my guy Nick Fury here.
Just bring it!
A lot of people have been waiting for this guy to get a tier 3 or an awakened skill. Hopefully they don't pass on this guy and just do 3 uniforms instead of 4. He does have the 50% to all superhero attack buff going on. And then I believe in his uniform, he's one of the few cats that can actually offer like super armor as a passive or something like that. Yeah. So he gives super armor as a passive. I believe him and Thing are like the only 2 that really do that. Could be a little off, might be a few more characters, but off the top of my head, those are the only 2 I can really think of. Does give increase all basic defenses by 30%, immunity to incapacitation effect. Actually, I think they kind of added that in there. And the increased basic damage dealt to supervillains by 55%. Yeah, I don't think that immunity to incapacitation was there, because when this uniform came out, incapacitation wasn't in the game. He does have 2 seconds of debuff removal for himself on a 15-second cooldown. As far as his skills go, got things like chance to miss, a barrier effect. He does have a barrier that he puts up to protect all enemies. He has a really long iframe with a V-pad on the 4. 1 second of all damage immunity that's really on a refreshing buff. As long as that shield is up, I think it stays up like 5 or 6 seconds. And it also offers an 80% hack buff itself. I'm not sure if that applies to everybody that's in the range of that skill when it goes off though, but it does just say self there. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. And then nothing as far as a uniform passive is concerned. And the interesting thing about Nick Fury also was that you could use him perfectly fine without the uniform. You'd still get the superhero super armor, or superhero allies apply super armor defense buff. They actually remove the incapacitation effect when you take the uniform off, so that's interesting. And then you get the increased 50% attack buff. So the attack buff really doesn't change with no uniform. It'll be interesting to see what they do to help Nick Fury keep up with the meta, because at the time when he came out, all of his buffs, the attack buff, the supervillain damage, the super armor and all of that were really high meta. Not saying that they're not still, but there are a lot of other supports that have really closed the gap, if not maybe even surpassed him in some ways. Sif is a really good example of that. Ancient One is another really good example of that. Shuri with her new uniform isn't so bad either. We'll kind of have to wait and see. Even though he does give, like I said, really high numbers, 50%, 45%. Damage to boss types wasn't really a big thing in the game either when he came out. So that's another thing we got to kind of watch out for, characters with leadership and damage to boss types. And then moving right along, we got my girl, Monica Rambo, Spectrum.
AKA Louis Rich.
Like the turkey bacon?
Yeah, like the, what?
She has a really nice kit, Never gotten a uniform, by the way. She's got some really good things in her kit. I need to go ahead and finish awakening her. Got the regular good old awakening skill buffs with the crit rate, crit damage, ignore dodge, invincibility, all of that stuff with the attack proc. And the frenzy buff, she's got some decreased energy damage received by 60% and 100% chance to increase crit rate by 50%. So the Namor passive, the increased crit above the cap. She also gets a lot of chance to miss attacks. She gets some increased guaranteed critical rate, 100% chance damage immunity. She gets a 10% heal, so hopefully they'll come up on that. 4 seconds of invincibility. She already has damage accumulation built into her kit. No need or reason to really take it away. If anything, they can boost it. She also deals some shock damage, so that's going to be interesting in terms of ABX, because she has some more of the ABX cancel effects. She has some shock damage. She has some stun in there. So she may be a little interesting. Being female blast, she's going to apply to a few days here and there, I do believe, but not very many. She also gets to increase all attack by 20%. Let me get this straight. She has damage accumulation, increased crit above the cap, a frenzy buff, leadership that offers 36% energy attack and 36% ignore and dodge, by the way. Like, if they just gave her another ability or two, heal, maybe some chain hit, her damage could really go through the roof. So we're gonna have to kind of wait and see on that, considering that all three of the main characters in there, Monica Rambo, Captain Marvel, and Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, are all either awakened or tier 3'd already. We could be seeing the first update with 3 tier 4 characters. So yeah.
And the Son has done been imparted with the knowledge of the Father.
Yeah. That's something else to consider. But y'all make sure y'all like, comment, share, sub. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments below. And we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.